Hi, I am Crystal, and I am from New Jersey. My story, it's kind of like a fairy tale, except that my stepmom is not the worst person in it, it's my dad. I was born into one of the richest families in town. I had a very happy childhood. My mother was a famous fashion designer and my father owned a large company. Everything was going great until it wasn't. But before I go on, please like and subscribe. A few years ago, my father and mother got divorced. My mother left us alone and flew to another country with her new boyfriend. My dad was devastated and now they hate each other. After my mother left us, my dad completely ignored me. I look like my mother a lot, and I guess that's why I remind him of her. Several years passed by like this. One day, my dad invited me to a restaurant. It was strange because he was not even talking to me for the last few years. Once I reached there, he introduced me to a beautiful woman named Amy as my stepmother. She was a middle-aged woman. We had a small talk before we came back home. After coming back, Dad told me that they'll be marrying in a week. I felt angry, but I just left without saying anything. My dad remarried and I came to know that my new stepmother has a daughter named Kathy. I thought I found a new sister with whom I could play and talk. But I was so wrong. Kathy and her mom were not good people. She was extremely rude and mean. I remember the first time we met. My father invited my stepmother and Kathy to a family dinner. The whole time, she kept staring at me blankly. I tried talking to her several times, but she ignored me completely. She was a jerk. Kathy was enrolled in the same school as me. She instantly became the most popular girl in our school because she was blonde and mean. She used to get bad grades in our class. Meanwhile, I am a straight-A student. Everyone tells me I am very mature for my age. Kathy, on the other hand, is just a stupid mean girl with no goals. She and her mother are jealous of me. Even my dad loved Kathy more than me. But there was one person who was always there for me, my best friend Amelia. We know each other since childhood. She dislikes Kathy too. One day, Kathy asked my dad to bring her a new collection of expensive bags. My dad said, "But you have so many high edition bags." But Kathy started crying and begged my dad to buy her the same. So my dad agreed to buy the whole collection for her. My dad didn't even allow me to buy a new phone. I am using my dad's 4-year-old phone. But when Kathy wants something, nothing else matters. He always places Kathy first instead of me, his own daughter. To be honest, these things don't bother me anymore. I am used to this drama now. Dad has made it clear that he will always place my stepsister ahead of me. And my stepmother doesn't love me at all. Despite all this, I am trying to see this situation in a positive light. Yes, I felt rejected and angry. But this has made me a resilient and stronger person. One day, I was studying in my room. Suddenly my stepmother barged into my room and asked me to cook dinner. I refused her. Minutes later, my dad came to my room and said that I should help my stepmother. I felt anger boil down my blood, but I still agreed to cook it. After that day on, it became my duty to cook dinner daily. I should have felt angry, but I love cooking. I tried learning to cook various cuisines on my own and within a month, I became a good cook. Now I wanted to pursue my career in it. Of course, I didn't tell my family about it. But when I told Amelia, she was so happy for me. She encouraged me to pursue my goals. Seriously guys, if she wouldn't have been there with me, I don't know what would I have done. But I still need to go to a culinary college to become a chef. I became sad because I knew my parents wouldn't give me the money for it. Suddenly, I jumped up and thought, if my parents won't give me the money, I will earn it myself. I applied for a part-time job as a waitress. I didn't tell my family about it. If I would have told them about my part-time job, they would have taken back my money. A few weeks passed by like this. Things were going well until Jeremy joined our school. He was the brother of Amelia. Amelia hates him because he is the favorite child of their family. He is smart, and looks like a literal Greek god. One day, we were sitting in the cafeteria. He came to me and sat down and asked for my number. I felt butterflies in my stomach. Suddenly Amelia came by and told him to leave.
Give me the number and I'll leave.
I gave him my number. After he left, Amelia asked me to stay away from him. But how can I? He was so cute and handsome. We started talking over chat. After a week, he asked me out on a date. I agreed on the condition that he won't tell Amelia about it. He agreed. He was so caring and funny. We began dating after a couple of weeks. And of course, Amelia didn't know about it. It was our little secret. Jeremy wasn't happy to hide it from everyone. We decided to tell her when the time was right. My school was gonna end soon, so I started applying for various scholarships to study culinary arts. Jeremy was the perfect boyfriend. He helped me to study, motivated me, and take me out on trips. We visited amusement parks, cafes, and almost every place in the city together. Meanwhile, Amelia was always there to stand up for me in school against my stepsister. She comes from an extremely rich family, so no one dares to offend her anyways. One day, Amelia came to me looking upset and angry. She threw some pictures of me and Jeremy from our date.
I told you to stay away from my brother, and you couldn't even do this? I'm glad Kathy sent me these pictures. And you know what? Your mom was right to leave you and your stupid dad, because you two are the most pathetic people in the world.
I lost it and slapped Amelia. She just stood there shocked and left without saying anything. That was the last time she spoke to me. She started hanging out with Kathy. Jeremy was angry about how I behaved with his sister. We used to get into arguments daily. And I eventually broke up with him. I started focusing on my studies because I have to get a scholarship and leave my toxic family behind. My birthday came. Neither my dad nor my stepmother wished me. They threw a huge birthday party for Kathy's birthday before. I was sad. I opened my laptop and checked my mailbox. I was accepted into one of the most prestigious universities in the world on a full scholarship to learn culinary arts. I accepted the offer. The college was in another city, so I rented a small apartment from my savings. The next day, I packed my bags and went down to leave my dad's home. My family was eating breakfast then. They saw me with a suitcase.
Why are you carrying a suitcase with you?
Dad, she must be running away from home with her stupid boyfriend. Let her go. She will come back anyway. She's so dumb.
That was it. I turned to her and said, yeah, maybe that's why Oxford gave me a full scholarship to pursue my culinary studies. And you guys don't matter to me anymore. I am leaving this home forever. Don't even try to call me again. My stepsister and stepmom were jealous of me. They tried to stop me by threatening me to report to the cops. I couldn't care less and told them that I have finally turned 18 and I can go wherever I want. And you are the most horrible father anyone can ask for. I am not your daughter anymore. They all were standing there, watching me enviously. I left their home and went to the airport. There I saw Jeremy and Amelia standing with a bouquet. Amelia came forward and hugged me, and started crying. She apologized for how she behaved with me and left me all alone with my crazy family. Even though I was angry at her, I could not imagine my life without her in it. She was like a sister to me who was there for me, even when my parents abandoned me. We both hugged and smiled.
Look, Crystal, I am sorry for ruining everything between us. But can you please forgive me and give me another chance? I really love you.
But before he could say anything, I pulled him in for a kiss. It felt magical. Jeremy and I decided to work on our long-distance relationship. Soon I started college and we kept in touch. Sometimes, Jeremy and Amelia come in for a surprise visit. Even though I had lost my crazy family, I found these two people who made me realize how special I am. It has been 5 years since it happened. I am a famous chef now. I own multiple big restaurants. Meanwhile, Jeremy also took over his dad's business and is now a CEO. And he also officially introduced me to his family as his girlfriend. His mom and dad were happy for us. But Amelia was the happiest when she became the aunt to our baby girl. I will always teach her to be kind and independent. And yes, this was my beautiful fairy tale story.